Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a very much requested Q&A on PCOS. So before I dive in with your questions, I just want to say that for anyone that doesn't know much about it, just want to give you a little lowdown on PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. Interestingly, most people don't know this, you actually don't have to have cysts on your ovaries to have polycystic ovaries. Weird, right? I didn't know that either until like a few weeks ago. Basically, you need to have 2 of the 3 symptoms to be diagnosed, and those 3 symptoms are irregular periods, cysts on your ovaries, and an excess of male hormones, which basically we'll call like bad skin, excess hair, and mood swings, and struggle losing weight. So if you've got 2 of the 3, you will be diagnosed with PCOS if you have it. Welcome to the club. Because PCOS is in fact a syndrome, that means that not every woman who has it will have the same symptoms. We can all basically have PCOS in a very different way, which is actually really interesting, and is also why you shouldn't just copy what other people do. I mean, that comes in any day life in terms of like diet and fitness, because we are all so different. And us girls with PCOS, yes, we have one thing in common. Shout out to you babes. My PCOS may very well be very different to yours, so it's really important that you realise that first off. Okay, let's dive in with the questions. How do you deal with bloating? So yeah, I get really bad bloating as well. Actually, recently I've cut out gluten and dairy from my diet. There's not as much evidence on it as there is, say, a low carb, high fat diet, which is also recommended for girls with PCOS. But there is studies and a lot of people out there that say it really does help. And I've seen like a really positive result so far. I've actually had no bloating, no gas for the first time in mine and Luke's relationship. He's the one doing all the farting. Yeah, I'm just that perfect girl that just never farts. That's really been so much better, literally. And it might not be the same for you, but if you haven't tried it, I really would just experiment on that. Maybe go back to basics in terms of what you're eating, and there probably will be trigger foods, just like IBS and just like any other like stomach problems that people have. But I don't think we realise the importance of what we eat. So yeah, bloating is a big one, and I've struggled with it for many years, and I think feel like for the first time I've actually kind of got hold on it, and it feels pretty damn good. Question 2. This may be a silly question, but how did you know it was PCOS? Was it a GP self-diagnosis? My periods were all over the shop. 1 month, and then not again for like 3 months, every other week, and I was like, what the hell? This isn't normal. Well, actually, my mum was saying that, good old Julie. So we went to the doctors and I had some tests done. I actually had a scan, what do they call it when you get pregnant? What are they called? And I had cysts on my ovaries. They put 2 and 2 together. Here I am today, polycystic ovaries. I actually don't remember how old I was when that happened. It was just the standard age that girls start their period. So what was that, 13, 14? A young teen. I guess it was a little bit scary being so young and not having heard of it before. I know there's a lot of like questions around whether you can have children and all of that, but I think because I was so young, I was like, that doesn't matter, that's like 50 years down the line. So I guess I wasn't that worried about it. I just thought as long as they can give me something that tells me when I'm gonna have my period, then I'm happy. I didn't really think about any other consequences at that time. I was always healthy. I danced growing up, I did gymnastics, so I was always quite fit, and I trained not like in the gym, but I danced a lot. So even though I ate terrible, like when I look back I'm like, oh my god, I literally ate such bad foods all the time, I was very active, and I think that helps a lot. What are your symptoms? For me personally, I have the irregular periods, cysts on my ovaries, bad skin, which is being hidden right now by the peel, and what's my third one? Oh, mood swings. How could I forget? Was Luke. I tell you, when I came off the pill a couple of years ago, I thought, you know what, I can do this myself. I'm gonna go natural, I'm gonna regulate my PCOS, I'm gonna take control of it. I don't wanna be on this pill anymore, it can't be good for me to have been on it for so long. And so I come off it and I was feeling like an independent woman. 2 months down the line, I was super depressed. My emotions were literally roller coastering all over the shop. I had super bad acne on my back, particularly under the skin, like spots, but like boils, like really big painful spots. I couldn't sleep on my back. I cried if I had to wear like a bra or a tight top because it was so painful. I modelled at the time and my self-esteem went, basically, I hated myself. So yeah, it was a really difficult time, and I think everyone says when you come off the pill, oh, you know, give it 6-7 months to like re-regulate your hormones. And I think I was like 11 months in and I just was like, I can't do it anymore. So I went back on the pill, and I'm still on the pill today. So, yep. What does your diet look like? A very balanced one, which I guess you're rolling your eyes at because I feel like that's what everyone says. I love food. I love all food, and I'm definitely a sweet tooth sort of gal. So yeah, balanced. I have a, in terms of my macro split, I do a lower carb, higher fat split because it is very much known that that helps girls with PCOS. But yeah, my carbs are a little bit lower than I would have liked them to be. I love pasta. And I feel like sometimes I battle with it a little bit because I know that carbs are super good for yourself anyway, but if you're trying to build muscle and trying to bulk out a little bit, you need carbs for your muscles to grow. And I really want to do that. I want to grow, and I feel like I don't eat enough carbs for that to happen. I feel like I limit myself a little bit. But I'm also worried that if I go against what's advised with women with PCOS, that I will just gain weight. So I'm trying to work it out. I'm trying to find the balance. But my fats are a little bit higher. So I have a lot more healthy fats like nuts and avocado and egg and fish. Pretty clean, but I do also treat myself. I feel like a few years ago I was super clean and super strict. I tracked everything, and I'd get stressed out if I was at a restaurant and I couldn't track the food. Arguably, stress is even worse than eating bad food, especially with us with PCOS. The stress hormone can affect it so badly, and I've really come to realise that. And ultimately, if you're stressed and your body's releasing that stress hormone, our hormones are all over the place anyway, and that just really does mess your shit up. Just eat balanced, but don't stress yourself out about it. Just keep it simple and you'll be fine. My camera died, I'm so sorry, hence the change of outfit. And now my niece is playing the bloody flute. Like, really? What supplements do you take? Okay, so I take fish oil tablets, I take turmeric tablets, and I take multivitamins. I have my protein powder as well, which basically just helps me get that protein up. I do try to get it from food sources, which obviously is the best source of protein, meat, fish. But if you need a little bit of a helping hand, it's so nice to put some chocolate protein powder in some coconut yogurt or in some almond milk. It's a really good healthy snack. Taking it back to the fish oil tablets and the turmeric tablets. So the fish oil is fab for anti-inflammatory properties, and it's really good for training because it's anti-inflammatory for your joint muscles as well. So that's why I take that. And very similarly with the turmeric, also anti-inflammatory, but also really good for your digestion. Don't just hop on it because I do. Take them, do research and check that they'll be good for you. I don't feel like you could go wrong by taking them, but I'm not a health professional. Just look into it, have a chat with your doctor and see if they recommend it. Do you struggle with acne? I'm pretty sure I touched on this earlier, can't remember. Yes, I do struggle with acne, but I am on Yasmin, so it's keeping it at bay. But I don't struggle from the other thing that you asked. I don't even know how to say this. Hirsutism? I googled it. It's excess body hair. I'm quite dark, so I'm kind of hairy, but I'm not hairy in the sense that I'm like, oh my god, I'm really hairy. So I don't think I do have that side of it. I mean, I've got big bushy eyebrows. Oh hey. And if that's down to quarantine and having no eyebrow salons open. Eyebrow salons, is that a thing? But I have really bushy big eyebrows, which is a positive. So if that has come from PCOS, then I thank you for that. Do you worry about future fertility? So I'm the sort of gal that's like, I'm not going to worry about something until it's that time. So I try not to think about it too much because right now I ain't ready for no baby. Luke, stay away from me. Luckily we're on the same page with that one. I won't say I worry about it. It is something that's kind of on my mind now that I'm like 26. I have kind of thought about it, but in the same sense I kind of look at it like I eat well, I train, I live a pretty very healthy lifestyle. So they're all the things that I can control, and I'm happy with where I am at with that. So yeah, I try to focus on the positives because I feel like that's all you can ever do. And I would say to you girls that if that is something that's worrying you, something that's helped me is just to focus on the things that I can control. As long as I know I'm doing the best I can in that sort of sense, then I guess it is out of our control and there's nothing we can do about it. And obviously right now I'm not looking to have kids, so I've kind of pushed it to the back of my mind. I guess when that day comes, I will tackle it then. I do want to say as well, I know other friends that have got PCOS that have had children and they're like popping them out all over the place. Victoria Beckham has PCOS. Look how many kids they popped out. So I wouldn't feel disheartened if you have been diagnosed with PCOS. Lead your best life and everything will fall into place. Oh, so I had a few questions on CBS oil and honestly I've never tried it, and it is one that I do want to try, so when I do I'll give you girls an update about it. But I have heard good things, but I can't recommend it. Pop in the comments below if you tried it and your experience with it, and I definitely will give it a go in the future. Are you on any medication for PCOS? So yeah, I'm on Yasmin. I started actually on Marvelon. That was the first pill I was ever put on when I was younger, and I was on it for such a long time. And then when I got a bit brave a few years ago, and I thought, I'm gonna do this naturally, I got this. I really didn't have it. I was modelling and the stress of having really bad skin and like bloating was just too much for me, and it literally made me very unhappy for a little while. So then I went back on the pill, and I had heard really good things with Yasmin, did my research, and I was like, I want to give this one a go. So I did actually ask to be put on Yasmin, and the doctor was like, yeah, you know what, it actually is very good for what you have. So that's my medication. I don't take anything else apart from the supplements that I mentioned earlier. Yasmin works wonders for me, it does. My skin obviously right now is fine. My periods are obviously controlled, but it does sit in the back of my mind. I've got this little voice that's like, oh, when you do come off it, like when you want to have kids, you're gonna be a bitch, like spotty and like just awful to be around. So I'm a little bit nervous about that, but again, that's not right now, and I'm just focusing on today. If any of you babes were on the pill and you've successfully come off of that shit, I'd love to hear from you. I really love hearing your experiences. We are like a sisterhood and we should help each other out. Do you struggle with little energy? Do you know what? Yeah, I did a lot a few years ago. I think I had quite a lot of stress factors. My modelling was stressing me out because I never felt good enough. I was super harsh on myself. Ultimately was not happy in my career. And then I felt like I was like 24, 25 and not going anywhere. I was doing like my fitness on Instagram, but I didn't feel like I looked like a fitness influencer, whatever that should be. I just never felt good enough in every aspect of my life, which actually is really sad. And I think that stress really had a negative impact on my PCOS. I wasn't sleeping. I literally would have like 3 hours sleep a night, which is mental now I think about it. I'm like 11 o'clock like so I think all of that, my energy was like all over the place. I ate well, but I didn't really understand what that meant for PCOS. I just ate well like every other fitness influencer does on Instagram, kind of like just copied what they did rather than actually making it like specific for me. Interestingly, I tried to give blood last year, and I was so excited about it. I was like, I'm gonna help someone, I'm gonna do a good deed today, I'm gonna give my blood. Who wants it? Have it, take it. They actually declined me. It's really sad. I had low iron, and that is actually quite common in girls with PCOS. If you've got low iron, you are quite tired a lot of the time. But although I haven't taken any supplements for that, and I haven't even gone to the doctors about it, which maybe I should have done. I'm just trying to eat foods that are high in iron, so like eggs and spinach. So I definitely would look into that if you're feeling tired. I have found since then being very balanced with what I eat and having kind of like a regular routine with my training, that I don't feel so tired all of the time. In saying that, it's really important that you do listen to your body, and if you are tired, maybe you've just overdone it. If you've been training excessively and doing loads of HIIT workouts, that's not great for us with PCOS. I find that strength training, long walks rather than like HIIT every day is a lot better for us. Yeah, so definitely think about that, and if that's the case, have the day off. Mope around on the sofa like a sloth. You deserve it. Do it, no one cares. Okay, so another diet question. What snacks do you recommend? I've got a sweet tooth, but I really try to make them healthier alternatives. When you have PCOS, we're most likely insulin resistant, and we have to be really careful with the amount of sugar that we intake daily, which is really sad. So I have dark chocolate, for example, as a snack, but instead of just having dark chocolate, which obviously is quite high in sugar, I'll pair that with, say, almond nuts. Try and like balance it out with the other macros so it doesn't just go. And that could also cause tiredness if you're doing dips all the time in like sugar. I was actually chatting with this to Luke because he's a PT, and he was explaining to me that when I have my snacks, it's important to try and have a snack that kind of hits every macro in the sense that it's balanced. So I have, say, like rice cakes with peanut butter, so I've got my carbs and I've got my fats. Or like I said, chocolate and nuts, because you've got your fats and your sugars and carbs. Another good one is protein pancakes, because you've got your eggs there for your fats, like protein powder for your protein. And you could top that with like Greek yogurt, coconut yogurt. So that's a really nice way to get like a balanced snack in there as well. I do actually have lots of recipes over on my blog. I'll pop the link in the description below, so definitely check that out. I've just made some PCOS friendly chickpea brownie things. They are so good. I just had one a minute ago and they're just, I've like packed them in the fridge and I just have one a day because they're really good just to get that little sweet fix. Cool, I'm not chatting a lot, I know. I feel like, what time is it? I think that's everything. I will be popping more PCOS friendly recipes on the blog. Please stay tuned on that. It's kind of important to remember that, well, I don't know everything. I'm like you, just trying to find out what's working for me, and I'm just taking it day by day. So we're here to help each other. So if you've got any recommendations or anything that helps you, definitely let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for popping by and watching this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you liked it, I'll be doing lots more YouTube videos. For now, I've said it, I've got to stick to it. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll pop my handle here for you. I'll be posting recipes, just bits and bobs basically about my life, and some workouts on there too. So yeah, come and check me out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you soon.